What's going on, guys? I'm Blake Rodriguez with DctK9. This is some of the pack that we have with us at our training center, and this is episode 35 of Dog Behavior Question Tuesday. We're a little behind. I apologize. Things have been super busy. We have a new blog that's coming out this week that'll be sent your way. Lots of new board and trains that just came in and some that went home. Some construction and stuff that's going on downstairs. So we were a tad behind, but we're back at it. And next week we'll have episode 36 for you as well. So for a lot of people have been actually asking, why don't you, Ozzy, just go ahead and just get them out in the reception? Yeah, thanks. A lot of people have been asking how to ask questions so that you can have them answered on this show. I'm just going to announce that right now for you. On our Instagram page, everything is the company name Dream Come True K9, the letter K, number 9, right? On our Instagram page, usually between Friday and Sunday, we post a question or a picture that will say, ask your dog behavior question here. When you ask in the comments, we will answer it on our YouTube show here. So that's how you get it done, okay? So we're gonna jump right into things. Pack of 4, stuck. I bring foster dogs into my home, but my altered male doesn't seem to like bringing new dogs in, I would imagine. He enjoys his male brother and sisters who were living here prior to him, or to bringing him into our family. Why is this? We do a decompensation time of about 3 weeks in total, and they meet off leash in the backyard after walking next to each other several times. I don't know, this is worded a little bit weird, so I'm gonna try to do my best with this. There's a couple things that you're doing. If you're bringing foster dogs into your home, you have to really make sure that 2 things. 1, you're not allowing your dog to be a jerk. 2, the foster dogs that are coming in with respect. That's very important. Don't have them come in and get comfortable right away. That's a problem that a lot of people, I think, really have. Good job, bud. So this is Casper. He's with us for dog aggression. I'm just gonna feed him his meal this way around all these other guys, right? So that's kind of what we got going on. Good. And hey, Abby, could you grab me paper towels real quick? There's actually some in here, right in here, yeah. I just spilled a little bit of my coffee. Thanks. So here's the thing. The dogs that are coming in need to be respectful. If I come into your place, it doesn't matter if I'm innocent and sweet and well-intentioned, but I opened your fridge to pour myself something to drink because I was thirsty. It doesn't matter that because I was tired, thank you, and I wanted to go to sleep, that I went into your room, into your closet, got your bathrobe, threw that baby on, and then jumped into your bed, right? That's not respect. I might get to a point in the relationship where I can't open your drawers and pull out a pair of your shorts because we're really good friends. I might get to the point where if I'm thirsty, I can just open up your fridge and I don't have to be like polite and ask. But coming in, the fosters have to ask. They have to ask for permission, and they have to be unsure of what is allowed and what's not allowed. That's the state of mind that you need to get, quite frankly, all of your dogs in. The ones that have been comfortable and think that they know how things run, and the ones that come in that think that they're just gonna kind of do what they've done at like a shelter. All the dogs need to be unsure about what's allowed and what's not allowed. You wanna go down and help them out a little bit? So we got a dog downstairs that, yeah, you can go down there. He's probably just freaking out on the leash there. That's with, nope. that's with us for some human aggression issues, dog aggression as well, and he has a really, those are all empty, I think. Hey, down, really, really big problem with taking direction and just coming in and out of crates and stuff like that. Hey, so the team is tending to that. That's what we have going on. Hey, come on. Good. So that's really important that you get, Ruby, that you get that done. Because the dog that thinks that they know what's going on is going to try and run the show, and you don't want that. The thing that they should know, that they should feel comfortable with, is knowing that they can look to you for direction, right? I actually just did a blog on this, on being relevant. That's what you need. Don't put your dog in a position to make decisions and act a certain way. You're not allowed to do that, right? So that's very, very important. You also have to be fair to the dog as well. Don't just because a foster dog that comes in is sweet doesn't mean that they can do whatever they want, right? So that's really, really important. We're going to jump right into DctK9's. Hey, relax. Stop. Hey. So he got a little anxious hearing that stuff downstairs, which is a normal kind of reaction, and I got to do my best to kind of really match energies and kind of relax him. I'm also not going to try to calm him down by feeding him. He gets food for good behavior, right? So once he chills, I can reward. I'm not going to reward off the deep end and go, hey, good job, right? I'm like, good. And I'm going to nurture the state of mind that he eventually falls back into, but we're not there yet. So the next question is going to be from Tatif and why. My 3-year-old Boston Terrier is people and dog aggressive only when he's with me. That's not a good sign. Anyone else that takes him for walks is fine. How do I fix that? I'm going to tell you right now, stop babying your dog. Like, honestly, that's what it is. You let your dog hover around you and be around you all the time, and like you may or may not carry your dog. You may always, you never really kind of correct your dog. Your dog doesn't have structure inside the house. You need to give that dog more structure, and when a dog acts a certain way, there must be consequence. Prior to going into consequence, if possible, teach a dog what you'd rather do and drill the heck out of that. But then you have to issue a summons for a dog breaking the law. So post speed limits on the highway. Let your dog know what the speed limit is. Okay, I see that every mile. That's the speed limit. That's the speed limit. That's the speed limit. So that when you pull the dog over and you give them a ticket, they're not like, well, I didn't know what the speed limit was. They're well aware what the speed limit was. Your dog acts the way that it does around you because it's allowed to, and around you it's able to. So that's what has to change. You need to start showing a little bit of tough love with your dog, and if you really love your dog, don't baby it the way that you're babying it now. That's more from a selfish kind of point of view. You need to provide for your dog, and your dog needs more, okay? I know that could be a little bit hard to hear, but that is flat out the truth, especially if it's just happening with you, right? Hey, good. M. LaRosa, a realtor. Okay. My 4-month-old Doberman won't stop jumping. She's told off and she's showed what to do and nothing is working. Help. I have a 4-year-old in the house, and when she jumps on him, hits him in the face. Okay. You need to change that dog's state of mind. We need to find out what type of tools that you're using. If you're walking your dog on a flat buckle harness or like a slip lead or like a harness or something, it's gonna make your life a lot more difficult to address this answer or to address this problem in a way where you can be in control of the situation in the beginning the way that you need to be until your dog gets put in a position where he can start making those choices on his own. A couple things, hey, stop. A couple things that are very, very, very important. You need to teach your dog the place command, and that needs to be something that your dog does regularly, and then you need to put yourself in a position where you can enforce the place command in the event that a dog did not want to do it, in the event that a dog was to break. So how well does your dog know leash pressure? How well does your dog know different volumes with leash pressure, consistent volumes, popping volumes, correction volumes, you know what I mean? Like different levels and stuff like that, okay? You guys good? Yep. Okay. Ozzy's not dead? Okay. Hey. Good. So that's very, very, very important. And second off, why are you allowing your dog to kind of to do that? Correct your dog and don't even put your dog in that position. Your dog shouldn't even be getting affection. Shouldn't be getting told to go down and be pet or anything like that. Your dog should get nothing from you guys. You get what you pet. When the dog learns how to be calm, that's how the dog gets food. That's how the dog gets calm affection from you. Your dog should not get any excited affection until it can learn to receive calm affection in a calm manner. When you guys get good at that, then you can go back and forth between mixing match and being a nut job with your dog, but don't offer that, you know what I mean? Let your dog figure out, man, all I want is these people's affection. They're not giving it to me. What do I do? Of course, it helps if you work your dog for your food, or for its food, for its meals, because it's already used to being in a working environment where it gets food for certain behavior. It gets food for certain behavior. It gets rewards and praise for certain things that it does. It gets corrections for certain things that it does. You know what I mean? Like when the dog's lifestyle is that way, they're very aware that their behavior is responsible for what they get and don't get in life. If you don't work that in your dog in any other way, then that's one of the things that I suggest. So what I would say is visit our YouTube page and look through all the videos where we talk about working your dogs for food, where we talk about the markers that we use, and get your dog into that lifestyle so they realize they have a reason to pay attention to you, and stop allowing your dog to so anxiously, excitedly be in that situation and kind of jump, especially on your kids. That's dangerous. That's a no-no. I would not allow that. Let's see where else we are here. Smeeji, hey Blake, thanks for your generosity in giving away your knowledge and time. I really like the way you teach obedience commands like tricks. So my question is, how can I teach my dog to do a command such as jump, stand up, but make it clear that they cannot do it unless explicitly asked to? I suppose some may say don't teach that kind of behavior, but I figured you'd have better insight into communicating more clearly to my dog to shape this behavior. Thanks always. So I have my opinion, and then I might let Andrew kind of chime in here because he teaches a lot of that stuff. You have to remove the option from the menu, right? So here's a big mistake that I think people kind of make. Good job, buddy. That I think people kind of make is they spend. This is actually pretty good too, because all the other dogs know that there's food around and they have to be polite too. People spend too much time telling their dog no, but their dog continues to order it. And the reason the dog continues to order that item on the menu, in this case jumping or whatever it is because it's still listed on the menu. And you're the server that has to continue coming over and saying, oh, we're actually out of that, or we don't serve that anymore. You need to take more of a manager role, redo the menus, and not even have that listed as an option so that your dog stops asking. It's not something that's allowed. Once the dog stops doing it, then you can go back to teaching it. That's an easier way to kind of go about things. And there's different ways to kind of go about it, but your dog needs to get a correction where it's like, whoa, but I thought you allowed me to do that. It's like, yeah, when I ask you to do it, that's when you do it. But before you jump into that, you don't want to confuse it. So take it off the table and then reteach it. But when the dog after that knows to do it on command, then you correct when the dog is doing it outside of that, right? You want to kind of be fair. Is there anything you want to add to that?
That sounds about right. It seems like it's in a specific situation, probably when the dog overexcited or wants perfection, and the dog jumping on you.
Yeah.
Teach it something else that gets infection. Normally, just like sitting, it's like a calm sit, and not like jumping gets infection.
Yeah. So basically, Andrew went back to the whole you get what you pet. Reward calmly for like sitting. Don't pet for jumping up. Don't pet as you're bringing the dog down. A lot of those things are things that you. I'm a mess here today. Eat your food down.
Also, Samson is allowed in the bed, but he wasn't for a very long time, and then he's only allowed him to bite. If he jumps up on his own, he gets kicked off.
Okay, so wait, I'm gonna sneeze. You should have your mic on. Down. Say that one more time.
Samson's allowed in my bed.
Sam's.
When I invite him up, but at first he just wasn't
Yeah, so that's a good point. So it's the same thing with like allowing a dog on your bed. If you're not like in a good position, like we tell a lot of our clients, don't put yourself in a position when you allow them on the couch, when you allow them on the bed. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. You can do it. It just, you have to be more on top of your game to know how to disrupt it. So Andrew was like, I allow Samson on the bed when I invite him up. My wife allows Soko on the bed when she invites him up. When he's on there on his own, he gets kicked off. Hey, absolutely not. And sometimes the question, get down. You do not go on there. You do not open that door without asking for permission, right? That's really, really important. Another thing to kind of add, if you really want to kind of get into this, for like getting up on a bed or something, if my dog politely waits for me to invite him up on the bed, he doesn't get up on the bed. The dog that's not expecting might get the treat of going up on the bed. The dog that is politely begging sleeps on his bed, which is at the foot of our bed. Every now and then, he'll get invited up. If I go in the shower and I come back and he's on the bed, which doesn't happen because he knows I corrected appropriately, what will happen is he'll get a correction. Absolutely not. He'll know, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I guess I have to ask for permission. And that's really what I teach. I teach my dogs to be permissive. You know what I mean? Like, is this okay? Like, absolutely, yeah, go have fun. He's like, yeah, okay, I can do this. So that's really important. So let's see what else. Cooper the Terrier, I'm having trouble with potty training. Help. Okay, really, really easy. One, you have to utilize a crate. Small confinement area. Crate is the easiest way to do it, right? You have to be a good time manager. You have to overcompensate and get your dog out more than you plan to down the road when your dog gets older. And you have to really understand when your dog makes errors. A puppy, because I know Cooper is a pup. I'm not sure if it says it in there or maybe I'm just a genius. But when you're dealing with a pup like that, your dog doesn't have the muscles to hold it the way an older dog does or the way that we do. So you have to understand, okay, the dog is making mistakes after it goes out around every, 45 minutes after the dog goes pee outside and ends up peeing in the house or it ends up pooping in the house. And what you need to do is you need to get into a pretty consistent kind of itinerary and setup where you have a dog that you get outside. The dog doesn't go poop or pee outside. You don't let the dog in your apartment or your house run around loose. If the dog didn't go outside, the dog goes right back in the crate. The dog should be sleeping in the crate, not in your bed, right? This is very important that it sleeps, because if it knows that it spends time, it might eat in there, it might sleep in there, it might rest in there, it might drink water in there, because that's where you keep the water. It will not want to do dirt or soil where it sleeps. If I'm a car thief, I am not stealing cars on this block. I'm going to New Jersey to steal cars. Right? So this is very, very important. I'm coming to your herd. You're in Jersey, right? I'm coming to your herd and stealing cars. They got nice cars over there? Yeah, she said yeah. So that's where I'm going. Because I know I don't want to do dirt here. Does that mean there's going to be a couple of mistakes in the crate if you have the dog sleeping in your bed and stuff? Yeah, but you get the dog out, right? Go straight outside. Clean the mess when you get back, right? And you got to get into that rhythm and know, okay, I'm getting the dog out. When the dog's going outside, awesome, freedom of the house. The dog goes every 45 minutes, around the 30-minute mark, or maybe the 35-minute mark, you're getting your dog on leash and you're going straight outside. If your dog doesn't go outside, it's going back in the crate, and then you might have to get it back out within 10 minutes. I don't know. You have to really know your dog, and a little bit of that is trial and error. You have to experience those mistakes in order to really kind of figure it out. Every dog's a little bit different, right? So that's really, really, really what you have to do. This is hard for him, but he's doing good. And the cool thing is, it's not even hard for him because of the dogs. It's hard for him because of like people and stuff that's going on. So not too bad considering where he was a couple weeks ago. Chagoza, hello Blake. I have a 5-year-old Chihuahua mix. Every time my husband comes from work at night, she will bark and growl at him. This is our own fault because he used to tease her and scare her when we first got her a year and a half ago. I have talked to him and I have told him not to look, talk, or even pet her. She doesn't know place and basic obedience. Any tips to help both of them? Oh, she does know place, sorry, and basic obedience. Yeah, well, the barking, I would look into maybe getting a bark collar, Garmin bark limiter deluxe, because it's going to interrupt. Oh, you have to really have good timing, and you have to correct in a way that's efficient, right? The definition of positive punishment is adding something that is going to decrease the likelihood of a dog doing it again. If you're saying no, or you're saying hey, or you're doing this, and like your dog continues to do it, it's actually not positive punishment, right? You're not using a correction. It's actually not a correction, or if you're considering it a correction, it's not an effective one, right? So you can do a couple of things. You can choose the dog. You can show the dog something else to do, and then interrupt. But if you're sleeping because your husband's coming home or your boyfriend's coming home late at night, then a bark collar, you got to have something that's going to correct where a dog goes, oh, maybe this is going to get me to stop doing this. Because if it's going to continue, then it's just a habit. You know what I mean? And the dog is not getting used to it. The dog is not getting used to it and then stopping. The dog is getting used to that's what I do because no one's telling him or her that he's doing a good job or a bad job. He's not being told otherwise. So he's like, oh, you know what? I guess this is what I do. This is how I act. So if we see the barking gets diminished and there's a little bit of a growl, I might not correct that because a dog might be growling and kind of like trying to turn away. But if the dog is like growling and looking at him, that's something that I probably would correct. I did a Periscope on this that is now on our YouTube channel, talking about growling and barking, what I correct versus what I ignore, and my opinions on that. Check that out on our YouTube channel, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Hockey girl, my kind of girl. So I have 3 not so animal-friendly dogs, 2 females, 1 male. The smallest is 50 pounds. Biggest is 100. All pit mixes and stubborn-headed. They get along fine with each other. But my father is going to be moving into my house with his 2 15 to 20-pound dogs that are both males and would like to know of ways to stop my dogs from trying to eat his little tiny dogs. Any tips? Yeah, I would suggest walking them together. Getting your stubborn dogs to not be so stubborn and listening to you a little bit more. You got to work them one at a time, and don't take on any more dogs. You have 3 dogs that are kind of being crutches for one another. They keep each other entertained and occupied, but there's no structure really telling them otherwise. The breed doesn't matter. They're being allowed to act a certain way, and that's what we have to change and kind of show. So that you got to go a little bit more strict. Dogs have to listen to you. You have to be relevant. Very, very important. You have to be middle name relevant. I would suggest reading through our blogs, going through all the free YouTube information. We just took all of our Periscope videos, it was like over 200, and put them up on our YouTube channel, so along with all the videos that we had on our YouTube channel prior to that, and really start getting your dogs to focus on you and understand you as an option. And then what I would suggest is going for walks where I can have one dog here, and then my father is walking another dog, and they just get used to coexisting with one another. They don't meet, they don't do anything, but this also ties into what kind of tools are you walking your dog on, or your dogs. Do they actually walk nicely? All those things, all those ABCs you have to get in place first prior to jumping into like a problem. If you don't have those other things in place, it's going to be really, really difficult. The example that I always give is if I have to read you instructions in German on how to change the oil in that vehicle, it's going to be really difficult if you don't speak German, right? But if I teach you German, then once you know German and you're fluent in German, I can now read these directions to you and show you, walk you through changing the oil in that car. So here's the question. Do your dogs know German? If they don't, that's where you start. You have to start speaking them German. And I don't actually mean German, so don't purchase like Rosetta Stone or anything like that and be like, that's what Blake said. Hopefully you get what I mean. But if you do purchase Rosetta Stone, then awesome, kudos to you. And then we have Jewel. How can I get my dog to hold a sit-stay like Soko can outside a coffee shop? Skills, baby, that's how. She used to be able to hold a downstay, but now she will get up as soon as I'm inside, although she can hold a sit in our backyard while I walk inside the house. Okay, so that's a start What you have to do is you just have to start being aware of like your dog's state of mind. What state of mind is your dog in? Is your dog used to kind of doing certain things? So maybe up the challenge a little bit more in different ways around your house. Blind corners, certain sounds like rustling sounds if you're opening up bread that simulates or replicates like treats, or even if it is a treat bag or something like that. Practicing outside is a little bit tough. This is kind of a dangerous thing to do, so you gotta really be smart about it. Look at those two lovebirds over there. You gotta be really smart about it, or maybe have a friend that can help to address the dog and really get a dog to really kind of understand, to kind of stay. It took a little bit of work. I know when I first started it, I would do it, and I know we could hold it down, and I knew that my dog was a dog that was going to run toward the door, not away. So it made it easier for me to kind of challenge because I kind of drilled that in him. He wasn't a dog that was kind of running away. He was a dog that would run toward the door. So I would do it in areas where sometimes I would go in a store and I had no interest in buying something, but it was clear and I can see. And the moment I saw him moving, nope, and I would address good, and I would just walk back and come back. Good job. When you work on place and everything, here's another tip inside your house, and you're doing those blind stays and corners or whatever, don't reward by having the dog come to you. Reward by you walking to the dog and petting or feeding or whatever, so the dog understands good things come from staying or by staying, not I stay and I'm waiting for you to kind of give me the okay so I can get the reward for staying. You just have a dog that's expecting anxiously to kind of run over to you. So do some more place work, some more downstay work, and when you reward, walk over to your dog. And I think that's going to make a big difference. You got to add something?
You said it, but you didn't like make it clear. Just like actually taking the time off to practice and not just like practicing it when you do coffee, you don't have time.
Yeah.
It's just that and like sticking it through.
Yeah, that's a great point. So like,
Rest of the while and just me like
yeah.
following through.
So Andrew hit us up with, nope, down, with some personal knowledge and said, down, you're doing good. You check out our Facebook page. I'll introduce everybody, or I'll let you know who we have here in just a little bit. That was our last question. But what Andrew said was Samson actually like regressed a little bit, and one of the main reasons was because he wasn't taking time to practice. He was trying to practice and ask for it when he actually needed the dog to do it, when he actually needed to wait in line for coffee, when he actually needed to do that. So what I would suggest, and what Andrew was saying, is like actually take the time to practice it and don't expect it when you actually need it just yet, and see how that goes, all right? But you gotta understand, anytime you're leaving your dog out there, that's a dangerous thing. So unless you really know what you're doing, like I personally don't recommend it. You want to consult like a professional, because I mean, I know you guys see I do it every day in New York City. I don't just do that with any dog. We know where we are with the dogs and where we aren't. You know what I mean? So that's very, very important. But guys, thank you so much. We are, that's episode 35. I'm going to go ahead and introduce everybody so you know who we have here. Over there in the far corner, we have Maxwell, who we just recently adopted, actually. He's officially ours. We got Rolo Polo. We got Ruby Rubes. We have, oh my gosh, Kobe Cobes. We got Muffin, a.k.a. Muffers. Maggie Moose. Samson, a.k.a. Cito Bito, and all the other names that we have for him. Soko Loco, Turdman, Willy Nilly, we got Loosey Goosey, Alfie. I couldn't tell who that was. I thought it was Rolo for a second. Alf, and then we got Casper, the ghost that is learning to be friendly because he came in not so friendly. That's what we have. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I will see you next week. Make sure to keep tabs on us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, live on Periscope, live on Facebook, all that good stuff. Tons of free information. I'll see you next week.